Yo, what is poppin', guys? We are back on Pokemon Showdown today for actually my team builder for PMC Week 3, PMC Orange League versus the Winnipeg Blue Blastoise, I think is the name, and the coach Point Blank, aka Dirt, whatever. I don't know his real name, but definitely a chill guy. I started 0-2, but I'm definitely here to make playoffs, so I better win this game. And I built a very fun squad, so I thought I might as well make a team builder, and yeah, I hope it works out so we can get a big win to get like back into the winning side of things and maybe start a nice little streak. So yeah, let's go right into it. The team of my opponent appears right now, so yeah, it's a very powerful team, but definitely a team that I feel doesn't have the best matchup versus my threats. He has the Mamoswine, Mega Gardevoir, which is a nice offensive core. I don't really have switch-ins to those. He has Entei, Shaman, Raikou, Blastoise, Registeel, Exodus, Pangoro, the God, Armaldo, and Gorgeist. So when I saw his team, I was like, yeah, his hazard control is trash. So I thought I might as well bring some nice hazard stacking hyper offense team that potentially abuses the great matchup my Mega Lopunny has versus him. Like, as you can see, his fastest one is Raikou, which allows me to run Element Lopunny, which is always nice to have because Element Lopunny outgoes Gardevoir after Spike or after Rocks, so he doesn't really have the best answer to it. His best answer is probably a Blastoise, and Blastoise just like gets 2 KO'd after Spikes and Toxic Spikes. That's why I have it here on my Gardevoir. But like, yeah, he just doesn't have an answer for Lopunny. Not even Gorgeist can check it after Spikes and being toxic, or like poisoned with the toxic spikes. So I thought, also because I don't have the best matchup versus some threats like Mamoswine or Gardevoir, or even Shaman, I decided to bring like a very offensive team that doesn't rely on too many switches, with like a spike stacking leads plus screens plus nice sword stance baton pass into one of my 3 threats. So the team I'm bringing is actually Garbodor, Pyukumuku, my boy Gligar that I picked up after week 1, as well as Mimikyu, Crawdont, and Mega Lopunny. So 3 physical threats that can potentially take the sword stance baton pass boost from my Gligar to really put in quite some work. So let's go right into it here. I bring the Garbodor, Gigi, it's Sebi, my boy Blue Victini, Sebastian, making his first appearance with the nice Focus Sash, Weak Armor set, Toxic Spikes, Spikes, and Explosion. Spikes and Toxic Spikes are basically really good for him because they just allow me to chip down his team for Lopunny and like guarantee me some 2-hit kills that I otherwise wouldn't get, for example on a physically defensive Gorgeist or a Shaman, which is pretty nice. If I don't get to +2, like +2 Lopunny OHKOs basically everything after Spike and Toxic Spikes, but standard Lopunny, like without a boost, still gets 2-hit KOs on like my opponent's physical walls after hazard. So Garbodor, he has enough speed for Adamant Mamoswine, with the rest like put in attack and obviously some bulk. But like the plan is to just lead off with it, get up a Spike, potentially get up a T-Spike, and should he switch into like Blastoise to get off a spin, I would just explode in its face because I doubt he will run max speed Timid Blastoise, so I can like basically guarantee to outspeed it, especially after I get a weak armor boost. I outspeed anything on my opponent's team. If he wants to block the explosion with Gorgeist, that's fine. I can just like send in my Crawdont and like basically get a kill after that, or like just get up screens on it with my Pyukumuku and shit like that. So Garbodor's job here, just like setting up spikes and preventing the spin from Blastoise, and giving me a free switch into one of my threats or one of my setup mons in Gligar and Pyukumuku to either get up screens or the SD into the baton pass. So that could be kind of nice. Yeah, like Toxic is here just in case my opponent leads off with the Blastoise, in which case I just want to Toxic it and try to get up a Spike later once it gets shipped down, or get up a Spike and then explode on it, so that I can basically beat Blastoise 1v1 or put it in range where it can never get off a spin yeah, you never can get off the spin on at least one layer of spikes later, so I guess that makes sense. I really wanted to run Gunk Shot or something on the Garbodor just to hit Mega Gardevoir, because Gardevoir is a really big threat, but I felt like Gardevoir could potentially run Will-O-Wisp or Encore or something versus my Garbodor, so it doesn't really make sense for me to like try to Gunk Shot it. I would just explode in its face after getting off my hazard, so excuse me, that's basically it. Obviously Explosion is nice to prevent like Hexorus from setting up, because Explosion will guarantee will guarantee put an uninvested Hexorus in range for my Mimikyu's Shadow Sneak and stuff like that, so I'm like basically preventing any form of setup with that Garbodor as well. Like I contemplate going for Haze, but I felt like that would have been dumb with the weak armor if I really want to get up a second layer or a third layer of spikes or toxic spikes. So yeah, I guess like a pretty self-explanatory set, but definitely gonna put in the work. Like I'm fairly sure I will be able to keep up my hazards versus my opponent, unless like he leads off with Blastoise maybe, or taunts me turn 1, but I don't really see that coming. Like taunt Gardevoir probably wouldn't even stay in on my Garbodor, so yeah, that doesn't really make sense. So next up, my boy Andrew here making its season debut with the Light Clay, Unaware Pyukumuku, Taunt, Light Screen, Reflect, Memento. Taunt is basically here to just like prevent Gourgeist from Leech Seed and Toxic stalling me to death, or like to prevent Hexorus from getting out of hand and setting up to +2 or +3. If he gets to +1 before I taunt it, that's fine, because then I can just Memento out and put it at -1. And yeah, taunt is like just the best option here on my Pyukumuku, because I probably won't even need a fourth move, because all I want to do is Reflect, Light Screen, then Memento out in order for my Gligar to set up, and like yeah, abuse as many turns of screens as possible. Like taunt is just here in case he has some like Karma Gardevoir or some Curse Registeel or something that I really want to take advantage of and like stop from getting out of hand. But besides that, I don't really think I'm gonna click it. I will probably just set up my screens and Memento out of there. So yeah, the Spadaf investment here is to, I think, never be O-code by a modest Gardevoir's. That's to never be O-code by a Specs Timid Raiku's Thunderbolt after Rocks, I think, or like from full. I kind of forgot, but I never, like, Raikou never kills me unless he gets up rocks or gets some chip damage off. So I'm basically guaranteed to get up a Light Screen on any mon on his team. Like I don't really need to Reflect as much depending on what he brings, unless he brings like Mamoswine and Entei and Hexorus and Pangoro or something. But like I feel the most annoying threats to my squad are the Shaman and the Mega Gardevoir. That's why I like definitely will value the Light Screen more than the Reflect. But yeah, the plan here is turn 1 and 2, set up my spikes and Toxic Spikes with Garbodor, then explode, then go into Pyukumuku, set up screens, Memento out into my third mon, into the Gligar here, as you see, and then like basically like set up the sweep with either Lopunny, Crawdaunt or Mimikyu. So Gligar here is a specially defensive variant which is never to get KO'd by Timid Gardevoir with the Hyper Voice. It tanks and HPIs from Raikou easily, even as a Life Orb HPIs from Shaman, Specs HPIs from Raikou. Like I'm never O-code by anything after Rock, so that's kind of cool. Earthquake Roost, the taunt by Sword Stance. Enough speed to speed creep. I don't even know if I speed creep anything, but I think I just made sure that I'm never like speed crept by a Blastoise or by a fat Mamoswine that doesn't want to like invest too much speed. Which would make sense, because like it doesn't really need to run much speed unless it's a Scarf variant that wants to get rid of Lopunny with a superpower or something. But besides that, like just was the amount of speed that I felt the most comfortable with. I also think that outspeeds Adamant Max with Pangoro, which would be nice in order to like get up an SD and Baton Pass out on there before he can kill me. So that kind of makes sense. And while Gligar is here to Baton Pass out the SD boost, it also can potentially win the game, late game as well with the Swords and Roost, because once I get rid of Mamoswine, Shaman and Gorgeist, he doesn't really have an answer to my Gligar. Like Blastoise does never 2-hit KO my Gligar with the Scald, and like Raikou, yes, it can it can HP Ice me, but besides that it can't really, like, it dies to an Earthquake if I'm at +2, so it can kill me once and then I can potentially roost up on a Registeel or an Amaldo or even a Gorgeist later, so that's kinda cool. But yeah, Gligar's here to like just set up an SD or maybe even 2. With screens up, I'm basically guaranteed to get up 2 Swordsons if I want to. And then like pass on these stats into one of my 3 heavy hitters here. One is the Mimikyu, very standard set, enough speed to outspeed the Mamoswine if it's Jolly. I don't think he will run max speed Jolly Mamoswine, doesn't really make sense, but gotta make sure that I outspeed that thing, because like it definitely is a threat to my team. So I could have run Jolly to outspeed Adamant Entei, but I didn't feel like I need to do that because I can just hit it with the Shadow Claw at +2 and like just get rid of it, and it can't E-speed me either, so I can kill it with the Shadow Sneak if for some reason he lives. +2 Shadow Claw after Spikes and Toxic Spikes, but yeah, didn't really feel like putting too much speed into it. Life Orb is here because it basically guarantees me very important 2-hit KOs or OHKOs, like Life Orb, Shadow Claw, definitely OHKOs and Mega Gardevoir. It does way more to a Shaman. I think it 2-hit KOs even like max defensive Shaman, guaranteed at +2, and like it just allows me to also prevent like Blastoise from spinning ever. If I get in Mimikyu on a potential spin to block it, then set up, I can just like fire off a Shadow Claw with the potential Toxic Spikes damage, chipping down Blastoise, and like Blastoise has to break my disguise on my Shadow Claw, then can't kill me with the Scald because it probably will have to be a very defensive Blastoise. Excuse me, and then like Shadow Claw +2 will just like do 70% or something to a Blastoise. With the Spikes and Toxic Spike damage, it will be enough to kill it or put it in range for the Shadow Sneak. So Mimikyu also here to spin block fairly safely against the Blastoise, even though I don't want to go hard into it on a Scald, but yeah, gotta do what you gotta do. I run the 29 HP VC, as you see, to make sure that I take not as much damage from Life Orb. I don't want to take 13 HP damage or just take the 12 HP, which could come in handy. Like, it doesn't give me that much more of longevity, but I guess it's nice because like 130 HP is kind of dumb with the Life Orb, so why not just run a little bit less to make sure that I don't take as much damage from the Life Orb, right? So yeah, Mimikyu here really threatening. Like, I don't think it will clean up late game. It will be like, I probably will use it more as a wall breaker, because the only things that really stop Lopunny are a random Scarfer that I potentially can pick off later with, like, once it gets weakened by Spikes and Toxic Spikes with the Shadow Sneak, or like defensive Shaman or defensive Gorgeist, both of which don't really appreciate a +2 Shadow Claw. Like, Gorgeist can potentially tank it, but it will do like 80 to 90% or something, so after Spike and Toxic Spikes it will just drop and will be useless in order to wall like my Lopunny. So Mimikyu has a shot obviously at cleaning late game, but it will probably I will probably just try to potentially revenge kill some stuff that could be annoying for Mega Lopunny to deal with. Like, the plan definitely is going to be sweeping with Mega Lopunny, because it outspeeds his entire team. Can't take any one hit unless it's like from Gardevoir or Scarf Superpower from Mamoswine, shit like that. But besides that, I can almost tank any one hit, so that's definitely cool. So yeah, Mimikyu definitely will put in some nice work, and like just with the disguise gives me a safety net in order to like revenge kill stuff like Hexer as it gets out of hand, but is low enough to get revenge killed by the Shadow Sneak, or just like hit it with a Play Rough. Even if it's at +6, I can just come in, have my disguise broken. Oh no, he's Mold Breaker probably, so that doesn't make sense, but it definitely can like Shadow Sneak a Hexerus once a week, and then Shadow Sneak does like 30 to 40 I think with the Life Orb to Hexerus, so I just have to like chip it down a little, which isn't that hard to do with Spikes and Toxic Spikes. So yeah, I'm not too afraid of that. I guess Next up, I have my boy GG. It's Trevi here, named after my buddy Sheer Force Trevor. Crown definitely one of his favorite monsters. I had to wrap it here and had to like give it a chance to have its season debut in week 3. Waterfall knockoff AkkiVGC Sword Stance. This mon like basically 6-0s my opponent's entire squad, barring a defensive shaman. I'm like 100% sure a defensive shaman is going to come just to check the crown. Might even be no item shaman, but I'm not sure if like my opponent has that in mind, because like I don't think he's the most experienced player from what I've seen, but definitely not gonna underestimate him. But I don't think he will run no item shaman. Like leftovers are way too crucial on shaman in order to check stuff like Lopunny well. So yeah, I don't think that's a thing. Waterfall, because I don't want to miss crap him, and with spikes and talk spikes up, it guarantees me the same 2-hit KOs or OKOs on my opponent, depending on if I get a Sword Stance off or not. Another mon that I probably will use more for wall breaking and revenging, like AkkiVGC revenges Mamoswine all the time, revenges Bandit Ante. It can revenge Raikou if it's low enough, like AkkiVGC does like 45% to an uninvested Raikou. It can knock off a Blastoise on the switch, and if he wants to bring that, can easily deal with Registeel, because Registeel is kind of set up for my crowd, and best thing it can do is potentially counter me, on which I can play around, and maybe T-Wave me, which doesn't really hurt too bad, because Crown is slow anyway and doesn't really hate being parried as much. Although like it would be nice to have to abuse my speed in order to knock out Gorgas and Armaldo, but I doubt they are really gonna come. But in any case, I can take potentially one hit from Armaldo if it doesn't run X-Scissor, and then like revenge kill it with the Waterfall. I just get a big AkkiVGC off if I'm at +2. I can't really set up on too many things with the crown. That's why I like would like to pass the Sword Stance with Gligar into it, so I can like go from there already. But if I get up a Sword Stance and stuff like maybe Registeel, maybe Armaldo, or like a locked in Entei that doesn't wanna stay in and take a big Waterfall or crap hammer, like I could potentially set up MSD, but with the Splash Blades and Waterfall AkkiVGC Adamant Nature, I do enough damage to like everything in order for Lopunny to sweep. For example, once I get off one knockoff on Shaman can never switch in again on my Mega Lopunny. I could potentially just stay in and spam knockoff, force him to knock me out, and then like get in Lopunny and revenge kill it, or like set up an SD with Gligar on it and then go from there. But yeah, Crobats and Mimikyu, as I said, most likely to be revenge killers instead of designated sweepers in the late game. My designated sweeper, yeah, as you see, is my boy Mega Lopunny. GG, it's Aki. Hopefully I can say that for the first time in the PMC and get a nice win here. Adamant Nature, because I don't need more than 228 EVs. And like I don't need Jolly to outspeed stuff like Raikou or Scarf Pangoro, which is nice. And Adamant like just allows me to absolutely destroy his team. If I get an SD into Lopunny, I'm basically guaranteed to win. And if my opponent gives me the chance to get up a sub, if I run a substitute on stuff like Gorgeist or Blastoise or Registeel, yeah, it's pretty much GG. Which would be nice to have in like Lopunny. I think the team I designed doesn't have too much of a hard time switching in or like setting up on like anything. Like Gligar is just a solid matchup and can potentially like SD pass on even half of his team, or even more. Like it can SD pass on Gorgeist, Armaldo, a locked in Hexorus, potentially Registeel, even Blastoise, locked in Raikou, defensive Shaman. Like it can basically set up on anything. And if I get one or two SDs into Mega Lopunny, it's game over for sure. Like especially with screens up, Scald from Blastoise, for example, can't even break my sub. Foul Play from Gorgeist will break my sub, obviously, if I'm at +2, +3. But he will probably try to Will-O-Wisp me, and I can potentially abuse that with the with the substitute, and then go from there, get my health back with the Drain Punch, or just kill it with the return or the high jump kick. Drain Punch here is nice because it allows me to get my health back on potential like pivots he wants to go into, like if he wants to pivot around on my Lopunny to like maybe chip me, get some chip damage over the potential leech seed that he potentially could pass, that I could potentially pass into Lopunny if he goes into Gugast on my Gligar and like hits it with the leech seed or something. But that like with Drain Punch and at +2 I get so much health back, like basically with every mon that comes in I get back to full even after a substitute and potential leech seed damage, so I can't really do much, and like I don't have to rely on high jump kick. High jump kick is basically only here to OHKO defensive, like max defensive Shaman after spikes and toxic spikes at +2. Like Drain Punch and return don't quite do the trick, but high jump kick guarantees me the kill, so that's kind of cool. So yeah, that's a squad for today. For this week, I hope it works out. Like I'm fairly positive that I can catch my opponent off guard with the hazards into screens. Like because he doesn't have a defogger, screens can really fuck him up and definitely change his entire game plan and force him to make some switches to burn screen turns, which would again allow me to set up with Gligar and set up a nice sweep in the late game. So yeah, that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you think of the team. The battle will go up on Saturday, obviously. I don't know what time. I'm thinking like scheduling it for like my evening, so like some time at like 2 PM or something in Eastern time, but yeah, we'll see about that. The battle should definitely be fun. Hope you guys will enjoy that, and yeah, leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed this team build, and catch you in the battle. See ya.